I'm so happy to be back with you today because I've got quite a lot of stuff here to show. One thing I've made loads of progress on, everything else a little bit. I didn't share the Battenberg blanket last time, so that's here in this one. And I am wearing, first thing I'm going to show you, I put it on because it's on 4 different circular needles at the minute, and I carefully put it on before I started filming, just in case it came off. There are points where I have a few stitch stoppers and I've managed to put them on, but not all of them, so I am being careful. Now, I showed you this jumper the last time, and I'm working on a circular needle and it's quite a short one. I don't think I could get any more stitches on for what it is. I don't know what length it is, maybe a metre. It's not a very long one, and I'm okay with just pushing the stitches round. It's working out fine actually. I quite like it at length, but it meant when I tried it on in the last podcast it was kind of sitting like, you know, this, and you couldn't really see it. It also meant I couldn't really see how the fit was because I am close to the sleeve split, very very close, so I wanted to see exactly what stage I was at there. I think just another couple of rounds, not much at all. I'm really happy with that. The other thing, the last day, my collar was sitting kind of sticky up. I put a photo up actually because I did a before and after. I fixed it. I love the advice that Mariette, who is die Bouwvrouw, gave me for just sticking a couple of rounds of knicker elastic round the just at the edge. There's one right on the edge on the ochre colour, and then there's one maybe half a centimetre down below that, and I put them one round, put the second one round, and then pulled them together until I got this just the way I wanted it, and it's now sitting in. I love how it's sitting. I really wanted it close up to my neck like this. I'm wearing no sleeves today, and Shetland wool doesn't scratch me at all, so this is exactly how I wanted to wear it, and I am chuffed with the pattern, I'm chuffed with the fit, and I'm really looking forward to it. You can see it is slightly bumpy, as it's not been blocked yet. I know some people like to do their yoke and then block it before going on to this bit, because after the yoke it was just round and round, no more increases. I think there's maybe no, there were increases. There were short rows and there were some increases. Anyway, I'm talking nonsense. Some people, after they finish the yoke, do like to block their circle. A, it makes a nice picture, and B, it does probably set that bit really nicely in a way that you can't really do if you're blocking it flat. So I didn't do that. I was desperate to get on to the next bit, so I didn't bother. And now I have slightly bumpy yoke to show you, but I'm happy with it. That will sort itself out, and I'm really chuffed. I haven't even said who the pattern's by, sorry. I have added in these little green dots. They are my own addition. The pattern is, sorry, I always get fliff in my eyes. The pattern is the Little Booster Yoke by Gudrun Johnson, and I bought it on Ravelry. I think I bought it on her birthday, and she was giving a 50% discount, which was a nice wee bonus, and then it sat in my Ravelry library, not for too long, because I knew I was going to make it. I was given this gorgeous cone of yellow Shetland wool. It's old. It doesn't have a label. Well, it kind of does. It's been taken off though, you can't read what it said. I do know it's Shetland wool. It smells very sheepy. It's probably got even more lanolin in it than the this is Jameson and Smith. Is it? No, it's just Jameson's. It's Jameson's, sorry. So easy to muddle those two up. So my 3 extra colours are in Jameson's. So the darkest green here, that's this one up here, that is on a cone as well. And the paler green, this one in the middle, and the one I ended on, that was on a cone. And I added 3 colours, which I chose in the Woolly Brew in Pittenweem, because the pattern calls for 4, I wanted 6. I just really, really wanted to have fun and play with these colours, and I'm chuffed. Perhaps slightly, I've lost it a little bit in here. It's not showing up actually as there. You can see Now I've changed the light. You can see there is a darker strip there. In real life, it does show up a bit better. But overall, I am happy. Very, very happy. And I haven't actually, other than I had to do half a round today to stick in these extra needles and the little job around the collar, and kind of spending that time making the decision on where I'm at. Because by some absolute fluke, I am bang on with the tension. I started doing a tension swatch and kind of got bored of it and decided that what I had done, I quite liked the way it looked. That was how I wanted the jumper to look. That's how most Shetland jumpers do look. And I just frogged it and got started. I was too impatient. Yep, don't do as I do, do as I say. Do swatch if you're doing a garment. Please, please, please. So yeah, flukily, it has worked out in my favour. I'm very, very happy with the fabric I have. And gauge wise, it said to do, I think it's 21 or 23 rounds from here, and that'll be me bang on pattern actually by the time I have done those next 2 rounds. So I hadn't worked on it at all because I knew I had to go and faff and stick all these in and try it on and make that decision, and I wasn't quite in the right headspace to be doing that, so that's why I haven't touched this in the 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks since my last podcast, so I haven't touched it, and I have today, and I'm glad because now I know what I'm doing. So I'll probably pause because I'll need to remove my glasses, take this off before I show you the next thing. All sorted. Next thing I'm going to show you is crochet. I'll see if I can go knit, crochet. We'll see how that works out. I was working on this beanie the last day, and it had gone a bit out of proportion, and I have frogged and reworked it, and I'm happy. Still got an end to sew in, but other than that, it's finished. I'll show you this one on. I'm actually slightly too high, haven't I? If I shrink down, here we are, and here is the star pattern around the edge, finishing with a front post, back post ribbing. Ta-da! And I'm really, really happy with it. The fit is just right for my head. Took a little bit of figuring out because this stitch pattern takes up quite a bit of space. It seems to sort of push out, because I started with the same number of stitches around the crown as my Perth beanie. This is the cousin of the Perth beanie, and I'm calling it the Tay beanie. Let's see if we can come right in and get that gorgeous texture. There, let's just take, is that in focus? Maybe here. Take a moment to look at that. It's lovely. I'm really chuffed with it. It's cosy as well. There's not much, what am I trying to say? Not big gaps in this. It's quite a snug fabric, and I'm happy. I haven't blocked it, and haven't sewn in that last end. But other than that, it's finished, and I'm probably about halfway writing up the pattern. I should have said that the yarn is from the Scottish Yarn Festival. It's their Clan DK, and this colourway is Sinclair. Gorgeous. There. I am going to be at the Scottish Yarn Festival, the actual festival, in September. It is September 7th. Last time I podcasted, I said it was maybe the 7th. I went and looked it up. It was the 7th. So it's 7th of September, and it's at the Errol Showground just outside Perth. And I am going to be there for the day, which I really am looking forward to. And Eva was talking to me during the week there, and I'm actually going to be helping on the Scottish Yarn Festival stall, where they'll be selling their yarns. They now have fingering weight, DK weight and Aran weight in this beautiful yarn combo. It's 80% Shetland wool and 20% Cheviot, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's squishy, it's got good stitch definition, it knits up or crochets up. I haven't actually knitted with it, but I know other people have. There's a lot of beautiful Fair Isle patterns, and there's some lace weight shawls and cardigans. Absolutely beautiful. It really is an amazing yarn. So I am looking forward to being on the stall, and shouting out about that and encouraging folks to buy the yarn. There's a limited edition colourway for the festival as well, which is a beautiful green. I can't remember if I shared this the last day. I think I might have. It's a beautiful, beautiful green. Absolutely lovely. I'm not the biggest of green fans, but this green I love. I think if you think Wizard of Oz, kind of emerald, it's a really, really lovely green. Absolutely love it. And there's a bag ticket combo as well with the yarn, so you can buy your ticket for the day, and then when you're there you can pick up your bag and your yarn as an option. So I'm all queued up for that. Cannot wait to get my hands on mine. So this pattern, like I say, it's my own design, and I'm halfway through writing it up. I have been super busy this week finalising, I'm going to move that one, finalising everything for my newly named Parallel Lines wrap. That's what we're calling this one. Let's make sure I'm showing you the right way. I think so. Yeah, that's the right way. This is going to be, or is, the Parallel Lines wrap. I had no idea what to call it. I was just stumped for a name, and I had a wee competition over on Instagram last week, early this week. And Peter and Sue, who are a husband and wife duo, came up with the name Parallel Lines, and I just thought that's perfect. It describes the lines, the stripes in it, and it's worked as a parallelogram, and you're working the stripes kind of this way, if that makes sense. Hard to see on this. I'll pop up a picture, it shows you a bit better. There is a schematic in the pattern as well, because it might be a bit tricky to get your head around what the direction of your work is, so I have actually made a schematic. That's in the pattern. Pattern is in UK terms and US terms. The yarn I used is from my advent calendar from 2023, my very, very first advent calendar. I was so excited about it. I know many of you were following along as I did Vlogmas. Maybe I'll put up a wee clip. Yeah, I'll do a little clip here in a moment of a bit from Vlogmas where I started designing this one, and we'll just do that now. Let's start with the advent calendar. 2 last days. Today's colourway, Bilbo's return to bag end, so I think it's going to have more of those lovely greens in it. Yeah. Nice greens and browns. Oh, some yellowy greens too. Really liking that. Nice. I did get this finished last night, so did I? Yes. I'm up to date again with this. Didn't take me long to finish those last little bits. Here we are, our live end. So back to some nice greens. Great. And I think if you were working some sort of circular project with this, I think that's going to work really nicely, because the way the journey goes round. Yeah. It'll work nicely on this shawl, because you'll see the same colours at both ends, I think, or similar colours at both ends. Nice. I hope you like that little blast from the past. I really enjoyed Vlogmas. Not sure what I'm going to do this year. Anyway, did I get as far as saying it's from Skein and the Stitch, the yarn? And these were 20-gram mini skeins in fingering weight yarn, 4-ply, and it is a mix of superwash, merino and nylon. Gives it a good drape and stretch. Worked up really nicely and quite fast as well. It's quite a good mindful pattern if you are into crochet to really just calm you down. This one is for you. And of course you don't have to use your advent minis. You could just stash dive the quantity I used was actually about 14 grams. So if you had maybe 15 grams, a few little bits and pieces at 15 grams each, you'd need 24 of them, and that would make you this up. If you're a sock crocheter or a sock knitter or both, and you've got some bits and bobs left, then it would work perfectly for that. Or if you're just a mini skein collector and you've got all sorts of different ones, it would work. So thank you if you are on Instagram and you gave me some names. There are a lot of tulipy names, which I did actually really like. A lot of tulip names. Can you see? Depended on the way around I had it. Other way, that way. Can you see? It does kind of look a bit like tulips here. And I did love all those fields of tulips, tulips galore. I enjoyed all those sorts of names as well. I did really enjoy reading all the names. I think I got a good response, just under 50 comments, I think. And it was nice to look through them and see all your ideas, because like I say, I am awful at naming things, awful. And I don't think I would ever come up with parallel lines, so chuffed with that. Pattern comes out tomorrow, which is why I've been busy this week. I wasn't even sure if I'd have time to podcast, but everything is all poised and ready to go live tomorrow. So it goes live tomorrow. I'll give you a discount code. Early Bird gives you 25% off the pattern, and I'll pop the link down below for Ravelry and my website. It will be available on both. So your Early Bird, pop it up. Gives you 25% off on both those sites, doesn't matter. If you do order on my website, there's a link option to add it to your Ravelry library as well. So it doesn't really matter to me which site you go to, whichever you are happiest with. Anything else to say on it? I don't think so. I love the photos. I'll finish off this slot, I think, with a little photo slideshow of the various pictures that we got on the day. I did it with my eldest and fiance, and my eldest fiance, not my fiance, and we had a great time. It worked out just as I hoped it would. I was wearing a lovely dress that went nicely with the yarn, and yes, so it is me modelling, and we just had a good time playing about with the different shots and that kind of thing. So, yay! I'll finish this slot with a little slideshow. And I'm just going to carry on with things on my own website, my own patterns, before I look at my last two projects which I have to share with you. So I've shared this before. I'm just doing a quick reminder that my Lazy Days Cal is still on. I've got a very active chat group on Instagram where we're all supporting each other, sharing photos, asking questions, building community, which is really important to me. We had a Zoom call again Friday night past, which was a lot of fun. Just chatting about where we stay in the world, what we're up to, what we like to knit and crochet, just all the yarny chat, and yes, good fun to build up that community and see friendships form and flourish. So Lazy Days Cal, if you buy the pattern, you can also buy the kit. I still have kits available, and they're on my website, or if you're local, there are kits in the local shop Hame in Carnoustie where I stay, and they're available there as well, and you can go and squish yarn, see everything that's in the kit before you buy too. So that's an option for you if you're local. So I just wanted to mention that, and there is 10% off if you are watching, 10% off the pattern, the kit, or the bundle. I've got a bundle with the printed pattern and a project bag, which I haven't brought with me, but I've shown it in previous podcasts. So 10% off all of those with the code Lazy Days. Wow, I'm remembering all these codes, this is good. Lazy Days gives you 10% off, and that'll be linked below too. 2 more projects to go. You know I've got the Battenberg. I'll save that for the end. The thing that has taken up most of my yarny time has been the Stephen West Mystery Sockalong. So look away if you are working on this and you are not wanting to see how it looks. I have begun clue 3, so that's where we're at. So you might want to just forward 5 minutes if you don't want to see. So here is where I'm up to. It is the weirdest sock construction ever. We began with a flat rectangle, this piece from here to here, and then that got knitted together with an I-cord edge, which I managed. I think on the last podcast I hadn't reached this bit yet. I managed the 2-colour I-cord edge. Look at that. 2-tone. Chuffed. Clue 2 was to add the ribbing around the ankle. That started to make it look more like a sock. And then a heel flap and a heel turn. So I'm thinking, okay, now we're on to a more traditional looking thing. By the time we'd finished this clue, it was kind of looking as if you were doing a top down sock. And then clue 3 started with you almost like you're knitting a top of the foot flap. So we have a heel flap and a upper foot flap, which is bizarre. I would know in crochet how I would join these, but I am curious to see how we're going to fill this and form the bottom of a sock and wind up at the toe. I mean, I totally trust the process, but yeah, very interesting, very interesting. I'm really enjoying these. They're absolutely pushing my knitting capabilities, which I like. I've started doing the weaving Stephen, is that what he calls it, technique, sewing in the ends. So I've only got a couple of ends here and there, which is good because you've got quite a lot of little extra colour bitties. So yeah, I will show you. This is my right sock. There's a right sock and a left sock. This will be my left sock. So this is how it looked. Actually, that's easier to show you, isn't it? This is how it looked at the end of clue 2, with the cuff on and the heel flap on. There was an option to do a brioche heel, but I really needed a quick fix. I was actually getting a bit of repetitive strain injury on my left hand from doing too much of these socks. So I thought, right, I need something simple that I can just get on with. I am so far keeping up with the clues, mostly because I'm enjoying it so much and I'm just so excited to see where it goes rather than feeling pressured to be finished and ready to start the next clue, if that makes sense. I don't think there's any point in being, finished and ready and working to that sort of deadline if there's no need. But I'm just enjoying them so much that I'm speeding ahead. I'm giving these all my time. I think I did the last clue in 4 days, I think, so that did give me a few days, which is when I got other bits and pieces done. So the yarn I'm using has come all the way from the USA. It is Twisted Ambitions yarn, and this came from the USA to Amsterdam to me. I bought it in Stephen and Penelope online, and it was one of the kits. And we have the bag. It says Sock Knitter for Life. So that is cool. Pattern is available on Ravelry and on westknits.com as well, I believe. And it's €7. But I think for the amount of video tutorials you are getting, that is a real bargain. It's really, really good value for money. Each of the videos that accompany the sock is about an hour long. So it goes at real speed. You can forward, there's timestamps, and you can forward to the bits you need, or you could just keep watching the bits that you need, whatever. So I would recommend that if you have a bit of experience in knitting. If you're a confident knitter, I would say, not a beginner. Intermediate would be good. Yeah, if you are, if you know what you're doing, and you're happy with DPNs or circular needles, then yeah, give them a go. I think you'll enjoy it. Okie dokie. I'm just going to wrap this around. This is what I'm left with from my Tay beanie. Haven't weighed it yet, but this is what I'm left with. So I'm hoping that each of the sizes for that, going back to it, you'll be able to make that out of a 100-gram skein. So the last thing, and it has had some love, is my Battenberg blanket. I had this out at the weekend, Sunday, this is all I worked on. I didn't work on any other knitting or crochet projects, and I've added quite a few squares around about the centre. There we go, around that. Some of the, you can see the ones that have got ends attached to them. I did find, or actually my husband found for me, a few balls of sock yarn in a charity shop. Not sure what they are. They're quite soft. Definitely wool. They snap like wool and they smell like wool. So they are wool with a bit of nylon, I would say. And they are working out really nicely. The green one, I haven't finished these squares, but the green one comes out like that. It's quite nice. And the purple one comes out like that. Purple and pink. So I'm really happy with those. Good little find. And I've worked up, I didn't add too many squares, but I worked up quite a lot of squares. They all need their ends sewn in, and then they need to be placed in position in my square box. And anything else? Since I've got it in my hand, I've got a few tucked into balls like that. I tend to make a few of my main colour, so that when I do sit down to add squares, I can add quite a few at a time with the squares all done up, and it feels like I'm suddenly, whoa, we've added load. I quite like that. And my main colour is Paint Box Yarns, which is from Love Crafts. It's a good, budget-friendly, 75% wool, 25% polyamide sock yarn. I've used this for quite a lot of patterns, including my fabulous socks, which was the first sock pattern that I designed. I designed that in one of their colour changing colourways, and I do really enjoy Paint Box Yarns, I have to say. Yeah. So I think the best way to show you this is probably to take it outside and insert a photo, because it's kind of getting big, isn't it? So I'm hoping if I don't get that done for this episode, I will definitely get that done for the next one, because it's getting big, it's getting heavy. Still enjoying it, still hoping I can finish it this time of this side of the new year. You gonna cheer me on? I would like it finished this year. It would just be a nice feeling, I think, to have done it in 2 years. I began it on the 2nd of January 2023. Yes, that'd be right. 2nd of January 2023, and it is a make-along hosted by Mariette de Boeufrau, who I mentioned earlier in the podcast, and her friend Liani, who is independence_yarn_crafts, and they're both in South Africa. And it was Claudia, Sunbird Crochet, so hi to you all three, hi, who recommended joining this one. And yeah, I'm glad I did. I'm enjoying it. I probably wouldn't have. I think I would probably have looked at this and gone, whew, very nice, but 2 years, I don't know. See, that's what I say about the community aspect. I think, although the chat has been a little quiet lately, it's nice when folks do go on and share pictures and cheer each other on, and I do love that about a Cal. So that is me for today, I think. Again, Lachlan has slept through, so he is not available for cuteness this afternoon. I'm recording on Thursday the 26th, I think. Thursday 26th of July, and I don't know, I doubt it will pick it up, but there's a helicopter going round and round because the Senior Golf Open is happening in Carnoustie this week, so there's a helicopter going round getting aerial shots of the golf course. So yeah, town is quite busy. Other than that, I think that is my content for today. I hope you're all well. Please leave me a comment with what you've been working on. I really enjoy reading through those. And if you haven't done so already and you've made it to the end, you might as well subscribe, and that way you will be able to find me again and watch future episodes. So thank you all for tuning in. I'll hopefully be back in a couple of weeks. Bye for now.